Hey guys, are you struggling to learn marketing for your business? We help small businesses all across the country be seen, be heard, and ultimately be more profitable. And I wanted to go over today to show you the 8 different ways that you can learn marketing in your business. There's 8 steps that you can take today to become more profitable in your business in the future. So, we're going to go ahead and dive into it today. There's going to be a lot to cover, so hang tight with us as we go through them and just get ready to learn as much as you can. So, the first one that you want to do in order to become more profitable for your business, learn marketing and excel. Whether you're starting a business, growing a business, or trying to take it to the next level, the first thing you want to do is you want to conduct market research. You need to understand your market, your customer identity, and understand exactly what it is that they need in their lives. A lot of small businesses start their business, they try to bring their product or their service to market, and then they realize that they don't know exactly who they're selling to. So they start to struggle a little bit. They start trying to get their message out. They start throwing things at the wall to try to make things work. That's a really bad way to do it. So, the best way to honestly do it is identify who your customer is. Not every single person that comes across your business is going to be your customer. Uh, in fact, if you're running ads on like Facebook, any social media, you're looking at only about a 7 to 8% conversion rate. You can have a little bit higher, but the industry averages all across the board are about 7%. So, with that, if you're going to start a business, which is a very, very rewarding area, if you're looking at growing your business, you need to identify who your customer is. You need to understand what they like, what interests they have in common, where they hang out so you can speak their language. If you can't speak their language, you need to find someone that can in order to successfully grow their business. Because without that, you're going to struggle. You're going to be getting a lot of different mixed messages out there, and you're going to start confusing your overall customers. The overall goal from marketing is to paint that picture of what their life is going through right now and how your product or your service can solve their problems and make them better in the future. That's the overall goal of marketing. So, in order to do that, you have to understand who you're talking to and where your product fits in the marketplace. Without that, you're going to struggle and you're going to start failing. The next thing you need to do is you need to go over your target markets a little bit more. Once you figure out who it is, you need to break it down. You need to understand their geography. You need to understand where they live, what they do for work, where do they go to work, how do they get to work? Do they take a car? Do they take a bus? Do they ride their bike? Things like that. Diving into it as well, you need to break down the demographics. You need to understand the gender of them, the age, the level of education. Do they have any college degrees? Do they have certifications? Who are they? Their occupation, their overall income. A lot of this stuff is actually public knowledge, but you have to take the time. You have to break it down. You have to understand what your target market is in order to position your product effectively. The next thing you need to break into that a lot of people struggle with is you need to break down your behaviors. You need to understand the primary reason that they would use your product or service. And most of the time, it's not because you think it's cool or you think it's going to change their life. They need to be in a point in their life where they're struggling already. And once they land on your landing page, they see your product, they see your service, immediately clicks and says, hey, this is the exact person, this is the exact thing that I can use to solve my problems today. So you also need to understand what appeals to them about your particular brand, because you're not going to grow a successful business without having a brand in place. Creating content, creating these videos, creating educational pieces for your clients is what's going to build your brand. It's going to get that rallying cry behind you. And a lot of people end up falling short of that because they feel like they just don't have the time to create this content. They don't have the time to create the value for their customers that their customers are honestly looking for. For instance, when we were working with a couple of clients, they ended up leaving us because we realized the hard way we weren't creating the type of content that resonated with them. But when we first started our business, we were actually struggling a little bit. So we were taking on as many clients as we could. And we come to find out they just were not the right client for us. And that's okay. But when they left, it hurt. It felt like we had lost a relationship and we were starting over. We were struggling. We were scrambling around trying to find someone to replace them. But what you need to do if that happens, just take a big, deep breath and understand that they're most likely just not the target audience for you. And that is perfectly okay. You have to understand what the usage rate of your product or service is going to be. Is it a high usage rate where they can keep coming back and using it? If it is, then you got to continue to provide that value. Is it a one-time use? If it is, then go overboard with the value. Understand what it takes to be successful with that. Create as much value as you can. A lot of small businesses struggle because they just don't understand the value sense of a business. And a lot of the local small businesses are struggling right now because what they're doing is they're trying to compete on the price. If you compete on value, you're going to win hands down 9 times out of 10. The other 1/10 of a time is because you're trying to chase the customers that just are looking for the bottom dollar. You don't want to chase that. You're going to end up at the bottom. Price yourself competitively, price yourself with value in mind, create a value stack in order to grow your business. The next thing you need to look at for your behavior is where do they typically source information about your type of product? Are they searching online? Are they reading about it in the news? Are they watching it on TV? Things like that. A lot of people think that just because the internet is around, it's part of our daily lives, that's the only place people get their information. They're actually really wrong. There's a lot of people that we work with in a lot of different niches that they only get their information from newsletters. They only get their information from TV. So you have to understand your demographic. Is it an older generation? Because if it's an older generation, then they tend to have more luck with TV and print marketing, and not so much the online portion of it, because the online portion is more geared towards the younger generations, and they understand what it is throughout their daily lives. The next things you need to look at is the lifestyles and values, and a lot of people don't dig this far into the 8 steps to market their business, and we're only on step 2. So there's a lot of processes that you have in order to grow your business, and with that you need to understand what the family situation is. Are they single? Are they married? Do they have kids? Where do they value? What do they value in their lives? Is it your product and service that's going to change their lives? Those are the type of questions you have to understand as well. What are their hobbies? What are their interests? Because then that also plays an effect of how you can actually target online. You can target their interests and you can start showing up in their interests. If it's a product that they don't necessarily need in their day to day lives, if you target their interests, you're actually going to perform a little bit better because most people will buy on emotion and want versus what they actually need in their daily lives. And the next thing you need to understand is, do they have children? Do they have pets? If you're selling to those type of people, you need to understand what they have, what they value. Your target market needs to have that need for your product or service and be able to pay what you're offering for it. Those are the challenges that a lot of small businesses face. They don't understand it, they struggle with it, and then when they try to redevelop it, they get stuck and they get frustrated. Guys, I'm telling you, it's a lot easier than you think if you just break it down that way. Create a target demographic profile and start giving your clients what they actually need the most. Number 3 is you need to identify your unique selling proposition. What that means is that what makes your product or service special? What are you offering that is creating that value to where they can't find it anywhere else? This is a challenge for a lot of people. A lot of people think, "Oh, I'm cheaper," or "I had just have the superior product." You need to ask yourself from a customer standpoint, what creates that specific product? What makes it so unique that they can only buy it from you? Those are the type of stuff. How can they benefit from you if they only purchase it from you? Those are all great questions to ask as you're building that out. Now, for step 4, this is going to get more into the content and the marketing side. You have to develop your brand. People buy from brands. They don't just buy from the random person on the street anymore. They buy from people they trust. If you're creating content, if you're creating value, you're building that trust with your target market. And then when you get ready to sell something, they already trust you. They already know you. They already understand that you know exactly what you're talking about. So they're going to be more willing to purchase from you. You need to look at your logo, your colors, your all the verbiage that you put out on your business pages all across the internet. You need to understand what it is that you stand for and what you can deliver. Because one of the big things that a lot of businesses try to focus on is they try to say that we kind of cover all aspects. No, you need to understand what you stand for, because that's the people you're going to attract naturally. Those are the people you want to serve. When you're selling a product or a service, especially a service, coaching business, marketing services, things like that, one of the big things to remember is that most of the time you're actually marketing to yourself that's 5 years ago. So people don't just buy things, they buy things either on their past, present, or future emotions. So you need to understand which one you're trying to focus on and really create that content for them. Then you need to choose your marketing avenues, and this is based on how you're going to get your message out there. Are you going to be running a website? Are you going to be running ads? Are you going to be doing all organic, word of mouth, cold calling, things like that? This is all going to come back to where your target market is. If your target market is mainly online, you're probably going to be putting out a lot more content, a lot more videos, building that trust, building that revenue up in order to sell it to them down the road. Online marketing is not an end all be all. It's not as easy as flipping the switch, running ads, making money. There are people that can do it, but if you want to have a successful business, you have to understand the basic fundamentals of marketing in order to be successful. The next thing you want to do is you want to set some realistic goals. A lot of people do not set realistic goals. We run into this quite a bit when we're doing search engine optimization for clients. A lot of clients, when we're talking to them, when they first meet with us, they think that SEO is as soon as they pay for it, they're going to start seeing results right away. And some people start seeing results within the first few months. But one of the big things to remember is that that stuff takes time. And a lot of people don't understand that. So you want to set your goals and your budgets realistically. If you're going to hire an outside source to build you a website, do SEO, do some marketing, understand that marketing takes time. You're building up this giant train for people to jump on, and then when they're ready to purchase from you, that's when they'll jump off. But until that time, you have to take care of them. You have to nurture them. You have to build that trust with them in order to be successful. So think about different things like that. How can you get out in the public to build that trust where your target market is? And then once you start getting your clients, this is where it starts getting fun, because once you start getting your clients, you want to start nurturing those customers that are loyal to you. You're going to find one or two here and there that are absolutely loyal. You need to develop that trust with them, bring them into things that you're trying to roll out, see what they think, see what they feel, see what they're looking at. And then the best way to grow a business is just take what their problems are and solve those problems. And then you can charge more and they'll stick around with you because they understand that you are relating to them and you're solving those problems. And then the last step is just kind of, as you're growing your business, you're going to monitor it, you're going to review it, you're going to see how things work, and you're going to start tweaking things as you go on. Most businesses, when they start out, they're not the same, 3, 4, 5 years in. They pivoted, they've turned, they've adjusted. But if you're able to build up these 8 different steps right out of the gate, you're going to have way more successful time building your business, because you're going to be able to conduct your market research. You're going to be able to profile your target markets. You're also going to be able to identify your unique selling point. What is it that you're trying to sell? What makes it so different? You're going to develop your brand. You're also going to choose where you're going to market. You're not going to just throw money out there and hope for the best. You want to set your goals and your budgets wisely in order to be effective. You're also going to be able to nurture those clients that are loyal to you. And then the best thing that you're going to be able to do is monitor and just review what was working and what is not, changing those things along the way, and you're going to be able to grow your business. But if you follow these 8 steps, you're going to have a successful business. These are the 8 steps that we teach people all the time, every single time. If it's something that interests you, click the link below. You can get signed up, especially if you're geared towards veterans. That's who we focus on. We focus on veteran business owners that are trying to grow a business. You've served in the military just like we have. Now you're trying to serve your community. Let's make it happen. Let's let you grow your business, make you successful, and see you in the future.